Hi, I have a new video here. I just saw this one. Okay, so this article I will put in on the comment section, whatever. But the ISO C++ community chairman of ISO C++, Herb Sutter, okay, he wrote an article on C++ safety in context. After 2019. He's not doing anything, right? He said he's not doing anything positive to C++. Besides the obsession, man, just nobody's talking about that anymore. Now, in 2022, he said we need to go CP2 or something. Now he's coming back because his CP2 clearly fails. Nobody would use it. Why would you use CP2? What's the point? Okay. So let's just read this one. C++ safety in context. Okay, so he's trying to say we acknowledge this problem because clearly these people would deny the problem for many, many years until now. But they're still denying a lot of problems. I'm not just going to show you all. You can read them. You can read all the shit because now they're doing is that first they're going to say, memory safety language isn't good enough. Even they are not going to save us, right? They're going to save us. We're going to improve C++. Well, that the direction, I would agree with it. But let's just see his solution. Okay, let's just see what is his solution. Let's just see what solution. Okay. It's just a bound checking part. It's my favorite part. Okay. First, pointer arithmetics is banned. Pointer arithmetic is banned. Bro, these guys, want these modern C++ or Rust guys, whatever. The first thing they will deal with safety is to ban pointers. Oh, how evil pointer is. Fuck pointers. Pointers are sucks. Well, fuck you, which is basically what they're talking about. Now, instead, you use this to span instead. In fact, I that's exactly something I disagree, right? I think I have talked about many times. This one was, I reported, it's my out because they keep banning me. I cannot say anything on r/cpp. I said that my std span is not zero cost on Microsoft API. This is exactly why you shouldn't use to span, right? Because span will pass the entire span by memory. That's a huge cost. When these people are just talking about memories, whatever, calling the new fancy shit, all they are doing is shit like this. Okay, all they're doing is shit like this. So the span needs to be passed by memory. You can see that just move instruction here. So the to span is not even zero overhead. Now you're talking to people, hey, ban pointers, use this span instead. What are you talking about? Not mentioning other reasons why would you use this to use a pointer size or whatever. You're talking with C interface. We have a lot of that kind of code here. It's not possible to do that kind of thing, okay? It's not possible. And the solution is not correct either because to span isn't zero overhead. It will store data in the memory. Please go and read it, okay? I think I explained it very well. Is that since to span is 16, by Microsoft API, it's larger than 8, then the parameter is passed by memory instead of passing by registers, They're not driving these issues. They're saying, oh, we just do that. What if there's a huge performance cost? You're not talking about that at all. The C+ language are not fixing its fundamental issues like exceptions, like all these other problems. But now saying, we're going to fix this one. Bro, you haven't been that stage, okay? You haven't been that stage. You have a lot of other things to do first. Now, second one, it shows his complete ignorance. Only bounce-checked iterator arithmetic is allowed. He just, in his mind, in these people's mind, the only problems with memory safety iterators are just pointers, are just arithmetics, right? You can't have out of bounds. No, the C++ iterators have a lot of other problems. Like, I think these problems are not actually C++ problem. It's the data structures, the inherent properties of the data structures. It's not something you can solve at the language level. Like, what are you going to do with iterator invalidation? What are you going to do if, for example, linked list? Without iterator, how can I use linked list? This is exactly what these Rust folks are just ridiculously on. How do we create a memory safe linked list? Don't use linked list. I know that there will always be trolls who say that. No, if you want to solve the problem, you are not saying we are giving you bounce-checked iterator arithmetic. No. What you should do is actually making index working, right? Providing APIs with indexing, because indexing can guarantee that safety. You cannot do anything to iterator. And that's exactly what I'm doing with FastIO, right? I'm just writing containers. Now, if you look at the code, if you read the code, I will write it down, I'll publish it in the future. I don't think you can make iterators any memory safe. It's not even good. It's bad for the container and it's bad for the interface. Okay? If you want that, you should just deal with the index. Like, for example, I think I have an example I can show you here. Let's just use this test example. Okay? I have this vector. I think I do show it. Yeah, you should show it, right? See here. Now, I do the checks. This is memory safe. Okay, this code is complete memory safe. So what it does is adding this index, insert index API, and erase index API. What happens if you have out of bounds? It crashes. Okay, it directly crashes with no diagnostic, which is I'm going to talk about later about the third point. Okay, but let's talk about this one. Is that if you want to make a memory safe whatever container, the solution isn't to make iterator safe. It's to make container safe, providing not being a container safe. It's to provide index-based container, right? The container should have indexed API. Because it doesn't have the issues with iterator validation. It doesn't have the problem with breaking the iterators, which cannot work on linked list anymore. It gives you a guarantee, right? It gives you a guarantee on all the problems you have. You don't have a linked list, you don't need to reset iterators either because the index won't change. Okay. So, yeah. This is what I want to talk about, is that you cannot make container memory safe by providing, you cannot provide it. This is not possible to provide either bounds check iterator. Also, if you add a standard container, because standard container iterator is just a pointer, you're gonna break API, right? You will break API, right? Okay, but the third one is even worse. When violation happens, an action can take a customer. This is exactly the problem with Rust, right? I think I've talked about that for many times. Now they want to do the same thing. They're saying throw an exception. Throwing an exception doesn't make you safe, okay? Throwing an exception does not make you safe. And also, the API, like if you look at a vector, the vector API, the indexing, the index is no except and not no except. I don't know whether the API isn't no except. Okay. Whatever. They're gonna break exception safety, right? Because It's not no except. What are you gonna do? My program is already bugged. You throw an exception. What's gonna happen when you throw exception when program bugs? Oh, it executes, for example, destructors. Destructors are normal code, right? Normal code will do double free. So maybe your code is safe by saying your code does have a bounds check, but it doesn't break anything. But you threw an exception, which caused the problem, which is exactly what happened in Rust. Rust have this extremely severe CVEs because of that on their back VEC. I think I did talk about that before. Then say others want log and continue. Okay, then you're gonna have the situation that these people are not gonna consent each other. I'm the first part, right? I just want to terminate crashing. Also, let's just talk about the third one, the API. Yes, it does, because you have ODR violations, right? I mean, this has been talking about by some people because bound checking is already enabled on Fedora, for example, with C++ container. They do have a concern. Okay, first, some API is gonna break because some people are using C++98. In C++98, you don't have data method, right? So what they are doing is that they are doing front, get an address from the vector front to get the star address. Now you clearly break the API here, right? You do break the API and break API. You break API because you have multiple translation units that are using the same vector. Some are not enabled with bound checking, some are. Then you're gonna have in a situation where the linker will discard the duplicates one, which is very likely your bound checking one, right? If you make a consumption that my API does a check, but since the API is discarded, right? It gets discarded, then guess what? Memory safety bugs. Those people, they're saying there's no concern on API break. He has no idea what he's talking about, right? He has no idea what he's talking about. I have said it does have one. Also, you're doing this check. You should just do one check. He's not even doing bound checking well. He just like signing integers. What is he doing? Like I said, I think C+ containers is just complete doom. You have too many problems, and I think that at this point C+ shouldn't try to add anything here. They should making Herb sessions work and completely get rid of existing all the dog shit, including store format and all IOStream. And IOStream is another problem they're not addressing, right? You have ignoring errors. You have even the store format have the problem that deriving things in Nuharter, right? You have a pointer that but it's crashed. I think I showed them many times. He has no idea what he's talking about. In his mind that you just do that. You just do this. You just do this modern C++ shit. Just like Rust, folks, right? The thing we just rewrite everything in Rust and the problem is solved. Here you're doing the same thing. Here you are doing exactly the same thing. Right? As a security researcher myself, I cannot buy any of his arguments. He has no idea what he's talking about. Okay? C. I mean, Rust has six CVEs, and C and C++ has 61. Okay. I don't know whether the code size is the same. Maybe you're writing more C or C++ code than Rust, and so you see C is not reporting as much as bugs as Rust does. Maybe it has a lot of factors here. But if you can deploy something like Rust, why not you cannot deploying a new, complete rewriting new libraries and break the existing, not breaking anything existing one, because I don't think you can change it. You have this exception abusing issues. In your containers, you have this exception safety issues. How do you make exception safe? Right? You just a lot of APIs that shouldn't throw for any reason, like operator, like the subscriptor. You should never, ever throw any exceptions. Also, like methods like @ methods should absolutely not exist. Also, there's a lot of other problems like vectors. Like I said before, vector int and vector double, and they're not sharing the same code. I said for many times, right? Because the allocator T prevents the code from merging, which is exactly what I'm improving here. C, the C++ problem isn't trying to fix this one. Is that they need complete rewrite of entire basic system. That's the thing you can do. Now you must say, what about a new language? I don't think deploying a new language is easy enough. If maybe when you think of deploying new languages, I think you probably need to deploy a new library, right? Also, just something like this just shows his complete ignorance. Like, oh, we're gonna have this bounce checking iterator. What are you gonna do? It's just bounce checking iterator. Bounce check iterator is just laughable. It's just completely laughable. I don't even understand why he's probably the chairman of iOS C++. He would think of this kind of stupid idea, like bounce check iterator. If you want bounce checking, you just using indexing, right? You just do index, you're solved. You cannot make iterator safe. Iterator, you're not just having the problem of bounce error. You also have the problem with overflow, right? Or not overflow, iterator invalidation. You can have invalidated iterator. What are you gonna do? And also, what are you gonna do with linked list? So just stop. Just stop, okay? Also, I would like to hear why ranges is better. Ranges are still using iterator API. Why is it better? Why is it better? And also this magic like ranges, the projection on all the operator overloading overuse. I guarantee you I guarantee most people don't want it. They don't even want to learn it. They don't want the dark magic around it. Okay? The lambda bloat. The lambda bloat is not a problem. I mean, these people have no idea what the performance at all. But talking about shit like this. The C++ standards community still are not trying to fixing exceptions. They're giving all the shit, they're not fixing freestanding. They're not fixing API problem. But they're saying, we're gonna just give you this one. Give you this shit. They think the C++ problem is just memory safe. No, memory safe problem is just a problem on the surface. It has many more problems in the deep, It is a problem for sure, but it's just a problem on the surface. The language has more problems, fundamental issues like than the memory safe one. Think why people were still using C to write kernel code, writing embedded system code. Why they're not using C++? Why not talk about that part? C is clearly has a lot of more problems. The most bound checking problems are in C, not in C++. C++, the most part is user-free, which is kind of funny. The same pointer arithmetic span, but you have things like unique pointer actually freeze these problems. Create double free because you free too much. Probably freeze even more than C. So let's just Just shut the fuck up. Okay, just shut the fuck up. The ISO C+ community needs to